welcome to Laguna Seca, the new Russian track. And I'm very attractive, and with me, as always, is the man who invented liquid rabbits, Michael Magus.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You invented it. You tell me.
I don't remember doing this, but then again, I've also done copious amounts of heroin.
Correct.
We are here at Laguna Seca in the middle of the California desert. I don't know if it's actually in the middle of the California desert, but I'm going to stick with that. And we're here for the ESR 3D Speed season finale. Not really a lot at stake here in terms of championships, but I'll give you a rundown on that in just a second. And small field today, Byron. We only got 17 racers. And may I present to you the newest member of the team, Mark Sabolski.
You may not.
Well, he's here, and he was just
shit.
on the screen. What is this shit about?
I said
Oh, okay. So, he is our newcomer. I assume I'm pronouncing his name correctly, because there's TSN's James Sabolski, so I'm assuming it's pronounced the same way.
That could be fairly assumed, but it might be Jones. It might all be silent letters.
Might all be silent letters. The Polish are known for doing that. So championship-wise, coming into this, Max Simmons is your champion. There's not really anything to stop that from happening, which makes sense. He's won 4 straight races after finishing 5th at the opener in Barcelona. So nothing really going there, but battle for second place is still on. John Archie leading by 3 points over William Murrah, who's only 6 points ahead of Silvio Cortese. I am realizing, however, that Cortese not here today. So it will be either Archie or Murrah. Most likely will take second place. And there is still a battle going on for the Silver Championship between Zach Martin and Mark Sutherland. But the problem is, there's no Zach Martin today. And that means Mark Sutherland pretty much is your Silver Champion as long as he doesn't put it in the wall, Byron.
I'm in favor of this. It looks like you might have to put a little effort into putting somebody in the wall, but it's effort that will be well rewarded. Probably financially by Zach.
In the case of the Bronze Cup, it is a 2-point lead for Jeremy Reeder over Ayrton Arsenault, which we were hoping for like a big climactic showdown, and then Ayrton Arsenault's not here. So you can tell I'm a little disappointed. And in the team's championship, of course, all season long, it's been dominated by Porsche Motorsports North America, who lead 506 to 370 for Momo Fine. So there's really nothing going there, but third place is still up for grabs between the 905 Racers, the Argentine Crew, Prestige Worldwide, and WRT Audi. And HMB Sport is still kind of in the mix as well, so some things going on there. There are battles throughout the grid, even if the trophies are largely ascertained. And we have our grid. Max Simmons starting on pole position, followed by John Archie, so an all Porsche front row. Michael Landry, Dan French, Neil Sutherland, William Murrah, Jeremy Reeder, good qualifying by Reeder, Dominic Turcotte, Robert Arzumian, Mark Sutherland, Marcelo Letelier, Connor Costantini, Simeon Naku, Michael Magus, Thomas Waz, Scott Johnston, and Mark Sabolski. Your field today. And now we get the lovely sounds of the helicopter in our ear. There you go. Simmons had all purple sectors, so he is the man to beat today. Took pole by about 0.4 of a second over John Archie. And of course, they are teammates, so. Though that does beg the interesting question, because, like, does Simmons help Archie get that second place in the championship here today? By kind of running tail gunner to him? Or does he go for the 5th straight win? What do you think, Byron?
I believe that Simeon Naku will just be using a cricket bat out the window to eliminate the competition.
Oh! I mean, that would be a good plan. Simeon, the Ferrari on the inside of row number 7. I don't think we can... no, we can't see him on screen right now.
Why not?
Because we can only see the first 5 rows?
I've been lied to.
Only see 1st through 10th place, including the BC Lion colored car of Robert Arzumian.
Zoom. You mean Arzumanian?
Mm-hmm. got today? We got 2 Porsches in the field today, 2 McLarens, 2 Mercedeses, 3 BMWs, 2 Ferraris, 3 Bentleys. So the most popular cars in the grid, Bentley and BMW today. Which is interesting, because neither of those cars would be, I would think, supremely strong. But Bentley has been surprisingly popular this season, and of course the BMW M4 is a little bit OP right now. And as a result, has been a popular pick within the ESR ranks.
Sounds like a whole bunch of cheating.
Here we go. We'll pick up with Michael Landry. Looks like Michael Landry's had great pace all season long, but the results have not been good. He's had a couple of crashes. He's been out a couple of times. Let me quickly look at his race. Yeah, he joined us for Monza, and the DNF Monza and the Hungaroring had problems at Spa, still finished 9th place, and then is coming off a 2nd place at Zandvoort. So this will be interesting for him if he can get himself a 2nd podium today.
Zandvoort.
So we head to the line. Last turn coming up. Landry looking at the back of pole sitter Max Simmons. Zips ahead. John Archie is really holding them up here. I don't know if some chicanery is being played by the Porsche boys at the front to get a good run. But it's a maybe. And we are off here, heading down towards the Andretti hairpin, which is turn 2 of this track. Turn 1 is that little, is that, which is not really a turn. And into turn 1 we go. At the front, I believe that is Max Simmons, followed by John Archie. To the outside, to the inside of Dan French goes Michael Landry as they battle for 2nd place. William Burr in the background in the Rinaldi Ferrari. He's running in 5th place. And may actually have gotten 4th place off of Landry. Nope. Change the spot. Neil Sutherland, Dominic Turcotte, Jeremy Reeder, Marcel Letelier, Mark Sutherland, your top 10. Letelier with a really good start. He's up to 9th place. Michael Magus with a notably bad start. He's at the back of the pack.
What a scrub. Must be a paint job.
He is driving the American flag car, being all patriotic about a country that he does not live in.
Correct.
Side-by-side battle between Michael Landry and William Murrah. Landry gave him a little bit of a shove there, and Murrah gets by anyway, so credit to Murrah. Balls of steel from the Ferrari driver. Puts him up in 4th place. Overtaking on this track is difficult. There's not a lot of great opportunities because the big areas of pace differential, such as the kink and the Porto, are also very dangerous to go too wide into. So it's a tough one. But Max Simmons leads the way from John Archie in a Porsche 1-2. Dan French, William Murrah, Michael Landry is 5th. That's your top 5, and the rest of the top 6 is unchanged. Somebody I saw dropping through the order there, but I didn't pick up. But somebody dropped back. Might have been Thomas Walls, actually. Now that I look at it, he's in the last place.
Was that your assumption?
Not quite. I had a yawn there.
No, illegal. We'll have you deported.
Well, I got up early so I could do my MMA prediction video.
You got up
commentary and also the work. Dominic Turcotte going side by side with Jeremy Reeder.
Yeah.
And Turcotte looks like he got collected in the rear there. I'm not sure by whom because we were looking at that from on board, but it looks like it might have been Reeder. As I see him off the track. Turcotte dropping backwards. Interesting if that ends up before the stewards.
In world news today, the Ukrainians now have more. A little dicey around there.
Dominic Turcotte getting a little bit physical with Simeon Naku.
So in world news today, Ukrainians now have more tanks than they started the war with.
I mean, not super impressive. That's super surprising.
No. What the fuck is Russia even like? Just give up. Just come on. And they got another general. I think they're up to 16.
Interesting. Interesting that they'd even deploy 16 generals into the Ukraine.
Well, they keep getting fucking killed. They just keep getting picked off. I don't understand.
Simeon Naku, Dominic Turcotte battling over 9th place. Robert Arzumian in the background in his Mercedes, and also Connor Constantine is there. Followed by Scott Johnson.
Never want to trivialize things like this, but goddamn, the memes are good.
The memes have been very good. Oh boy, what are you doing, Robert? Robert Arzumian, that was terrible. That was not good. He rammed Dominic Turcotte. Not sure if that was intentional or if he just completely misjudged his braking, but it could be both. And I do not blame Dominic Turcotte for taking this moment to get into an early pit stop. That man has had what I can only describe as a kick me sign on him. As he hits the pit lane. Had contact with Reeder. We did not really get a good look at that. That might be incidental, but it's tough to defend Robert Arzumian on that second contact. That was pretty ugly. That will definitely end up before the students. As Scott Johnston and Robert Arzumian try to get past Connor Constantini, and Johnston does. Interesting, I think. Is there a problem for Connor? He's going kind of slowly. Arzumian off track. Michael Magus there in the Audi is also in play. Ride on board with Robert Arzumian. The 905 Racers Mercedes. Him and Dan French are that team, of course. Trying to get 3rd place in the championship.
He's gonna get 1st place. Watch this.
Probably not from 13th.
He's gonna race so hard that he's gonna be so far out in front that he'll skip 19 places up in the championship.
He's in the pit lane, which does not surprise me. If you look at that front splitter, it looks very beat up. I imagine that car is a handful to drive right now.
He puts the man in Arzumanian.
Indeed he does. We'll see where he comes out in relation to Dominic Turcotte, of course, because Turcotte's the other earlier pit stopper. Had to probably fix up some damage. There's Connor Costantini fighting against Michael Magnus in the background. And Scott Johnston up in the top 10 for, I don't want to say a rarity, but it is kind of a bit of a rarity for him to get the Lamborghini up there. He's been the only Lamborghini for the entire season, I do believe. Respect for him for repping the car that no one else seems to want to rep.
Get that man a Daihatsu.
Still Simmons out front by 2 seconds over John Archie. Dan French 3rd, Landry 4th. William Burroughs dropped down to 7th place. We didn't see what happened there, but he had been up to 4th. He's now behind Landry, Neil Sutherland, and Marcelo Letelier. Letelier had an excellent day. We're in the pit lane. That would probably explain why he fell backwards. Maybe some damage, maybe some contact. I have a very short list from our Stuart Jack Hudvixen of exactly 1 report from this race. So, gentlemen, it feels like there should have been more. So, Arzumian came out well behind Turcotte, so that has not worked out for him. Also, the pit lane is Jeremy Reeder. We saw him off earlier. So some early pit stoppers. We'll see how they play out. Connor Constantini is now into the top 10. courtesy of Murr's pit stop. Looks like Murr is in for relatively quick service, though. The stop is already clicked over to served, so can't be too much damage to the 961 Ferrari. As he leaves the pit lane.
And why would we?
Well, if there were more damage.
What if there was an entire wallaby stuck in his trunk?
Well, I'd have a lot of questions to ask because, number one, that Ferrari really doesn't have a trunk. Number two, we're in the States, so where do you get the wallaby? And, number three, I don't really have a number three, but I feel like those first two are a considerable obstacle to overcome.
Probably got it from Texas. We got everything in Texas. Really, really, really lax animal laws in Texas.
They do. They do. They do.
They have more tigers in Texas than there are wild in the forests of Asia and Russia.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised there are more than the forest of Asia entirely. But Russia does not surprise me at all.
More tigers in captivity in Texas specifically than in the wild. Period.
Jesus. Simmons continues to lead, but got a chunk taken out of them by Archie there, and I'm willing to say that probably is just John Archie putting a good lap in, because Archie has pulled over a second over Dan French as well. So Archie put in one hell of a lap there, although the purple lap still belongs to Max Simmons. Camera is dwelling on this three-way fight between Johnston, Constantini, and Magus. I'd like to get a look at some other stuff. Mark Sullivan's going head-to-head with Simeon Nagu for top silver honors. Be nice to see that. And Magus is going down the inside! Contact with Scott Johnston.
For you.
Gets them both. Although, spoiler, the steward will be looking at that. That is the report.
Find you both guilty of infractions of the moral code of the languages. You have been fined 2 credits.
I feel like I'll be found innocent just because of the lack of actual incident. The tendency of the ESR code is to not really require an incident for penalization. And Johnson's car seems okay. Constantini's car seems okay. My car seems okay. It seems like that'll probably fly out. But I might get a penalty.
Guilty and will be tortured to death with penne noodles.
I will say, if you check out the Mio on board video of this race, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, you will see me almost shit myself when that actually happened. Because I was going for a move on Connor Costantini, and I realized that Scott had broken, let's just say, earlier than me. I'm not going to talk about the appropriateness of his braking point. But it was definitely a lot earlier than mine, and I was going down the inside of it going, ah, shit! But anyways, 2 for 1 and 9th place for Michael Magus. Let me look at my lovely American flag paint job. I mean, with my teammate Ayrton Arsenault not here, it's our only round in the States. There had to be an American flag out.
Or is it a Russian flag with star?
It's definitely not. It's definitely not.
Can you...
There is a Russian flag car in the game, but it's not an Audi.
No.
It's a Ferrari.
Well, if it was a Ferrari, it's got to be red, and if it's red, therefore it's Soviet, not just regular Russian.
No, it's got the blue and the white in there, too. It's definitely the Russian flag.
Boo.
Archie coming up to lap someone. This is the downside of going in for that early pit stop. That's Dominic Turcotte up ahead. He's not that far behind, but because this is only a minute 20 to a minute 30 lap here, we were doing about 123s to 25s, I think, for high pace. You end up kind of in traffic very early. So Turcotte is going to lose some time here to blue flags that his rivals such as Neil Sutherland, Michael Landry, Dan French, Mark Sutherland, and so on, who are staying out, won't have to deal with. Although, looks like Neil Sutherland was off track because he's dropping down the order, and Marcel Latelli is in. So maybe some contact between BMW and the Nissan.
You sound like problems that can only be solved by a judicious application of wall.
I mean, I'm not sure that would actually solve the problem.
Solve something.
So we watch the leaders head through the corkscrew, as well as the lapped car of Turcotte. It's an interesting thing here. Like Turcotte is incentivized right now not to be very friendly under blue flags. We'll see how he does. Can't go too far with it, obviously. I mean, there's a certain level where you have to let things through, but it is entirely possible to be a bit of a pain in the ass, as he does overtake Marcelo Latelli. So Latelli had a long pit stop, by the looks of it. Some definite damage for that Nissan to get off. As Dan French does lap Dominic Turcotte. Also, there's the fact that Turcotte probably is putting up fairly close to lap times with these cars. So it makes the blue flag situation a little bit weird.
Again, I feel that wall could solve that.
Around here, it's a bit hard to put someone in the wall. You don't see a lot of wall hits in the segment.
God dang it! Somebody put forth some effort. God, what are we doing here?
You gotta put maximum effort through as Turcotte lets lead.
Maximum effort.
Maximum. You gotta do this the old-fashioned way, with maximum effort. Landry looking back at Dominic Turcotte. There is no pit window here today, so I expect we'll see most of the pits still probably around the halfway point of the race. This is a high-deg track. It's a warm track, so the tires are going down. Dan French into pit lane. Sure, I like that move from French. I'm not sure I like the super undercut move here, just because the blue flags are going to become a factor for you. Probably. I'm going to try and do this without spoiling myself as to the results. Because I go through great efforts to forget the results before we do these commentaries. Checking what the pit stop delta here was on average. So we have the pit stop delta. You can find that under race progress on race app. I see 59, 54. So yeah, 50 plus seconds in the pit lane. Probably about a minute 10 even. And that's most of a lap. So the chances of falling a lap down and thus having to deal with blue flags is pretty high. Connor Constantini in the pit lane. So the first of the HMB cars is in the pits. His teammate Tom Waugh now up in 9th place. And Mark Sobolski getting a taste of the top 10 right now, even if it is pit lane assisted. But he's out there and he's doing a good job. Oh no! Stop-go penalty for Dan French. He's had a couple of problems with the pit stops this season, but it looks like he has not got the speed limit down. So Michael Landry goes around again.
He may have got a stop-go penalty, but did he get a duck-duck-go penalty?
Duck-duck-go.
Duck-duck-goose.
You're a goose. Actually, I'm a penguin. So Simmons still in the lead by 4.5 seconds over John Archie. Landry in 3rd. Neil Sutherland and Mark Sutherland are still out there at 4th and 5th. Simeon Naku's yet to pit. Michael Magus is yet to pit. Scott Johnston into the pit lane. Tom Waugh and Mark Sobolski also to pit. So 9 drivers to pit. 8 drivers have got their pit stop out of the way. Although, well, 7 have gotten their pit stop out of the way now. And 8th is in the process of doing so. But Dan French will be due in the pit lane again to serve his stop-go penalty. William Murrah on the tail of Dan French, who pails off to serve his penalty. I don't know if I would have peeled off there. I would probably used up my max amount of time slowing Burrow down. Awesome.
That sounds like a good and proper thing to do.
Burrow being caught by race leader Max Simmons for a blue flag that'll be coming up here. Probably already is out, to be honest.
Little known fact, these races are only put on to annoy William Murrah. It's a large conspiracy.
I don't think that's the case.
I wasn't going to reveal the game, but here we are.
I don't think that's the case.
Solely, this is all orchestrated. We had these games made specifically.
I think if there's one person who gets
and annoy William Murrah.
I think if there's someone who gets annoyed by these races, it's probably me. As Neil Sutherland hits the pit lane. It's probably the admin of the series who get the most annoyance, let's be honest. Murrah has not let Simmons through. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Around Laguna Seca, usually the blue flags are a little bit more cooperative. Just because you do have a difficult and somewhat dangerous to overtake track. By the way, Constantini coming out ahead of Johnson. So got that done with the undercut. It's been a while, but at the same time, Simmons isn't really seemingly that much faster, which would make sense. Burrow's got fresher tires on. So there's probably not too much of a pace delta. But at the same time, you might want to pick a safe spot to let the guy through so that he doesn't try to force the issue at a more dangerous situation. Mark Cebulski in the pit lane, and that's Michael Landry heading in. So both 720s are in the pit lane.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Yeah, you're halfway through. Give it up.
Keep it up.
Oh, my bad. Give it up. Give it up.
Simeon Naku up into third place as Mark Sutherland hits the pit lane. So yet to pit, we've got Simmons, Archie, Naku, Magus, and Waz. And there is Thomas Waz going around for another lap in the lovely green Bentley. Representing Her Majesty's Boatley Motorsports. Neil Sutherland rejoins the race. That is Dan French behind him. That is the stop-go penalty cars. That is a lapped situation.
That reminds me, make sure you're buying French's mustard, not that Heinz shit.
True.
Fuck Heinz.
Fuck Heinz. Mark Cebulski getting lapped by Max Simmons. Michael Landry, so Simmons is lapped up to Michael Landry in this due to the pit stops. That kind of shows again what I'm talking about is Simeon Naku and Michael Magus both hit the pit. Jeremy Reeder battling with Robert Arzumian, two guys who had to pit early due to some damage. Two guys who hit the kick me sign on Dominic Turcotte and are now battling over 14th place. And two guys who have really come alive this season. With Arzumian, I think it was a really simple idea of not using stability assist, which he figured out midway through the season. And if I'm Neil Sutherland, I actually might just let Dan French go. Because French is, getting kind of close to the back end there. He's not someone who's battling with Neil anymore. Yes, he's lapped, but it does seem like French might actually be the faster of the two. Let him go and eliminate the threat to your rear end. Dominic Turcotte, by the way, has soldiered on greatly. Despite being punted twice, or punted once and possibly punted a second time, he's actually still running in 6th place. He's doing an excellent job.
I agree with me, Dan. Thank you for your years of service, but we're gonna have to let you go.
Let him overtake.
Oh! How come he's got all these knives on the back of his car? I don't understand what that's about.
That's the diffuser.
But it's not fused, though. There's definitely moving parts there.
It's the diffuser.
Yeah, I know, but why would he need a diffuser? He's not fused. There's no fusion.
Because
is it nuclear? Is he running on nuclear power? Then I can understand.
It's part of the aerodynamic package of the cars. I'm really not overly sure why it's called a diffuser. Diffusing air, perhaps? I think that's
it is literally exploding rapidly every single second, so technically it's getting rid of the fuse for the bombs.
Watch Dan French in the back of Neil Sutherland here. Two Porsches are our last ones to pit. No surprise there. Max Simmons and John Archie going super deep. Neil Sutherland, by the way, has come out of this whole thing in second and third place, having overtaken Michael Landry, having overtaken Dan French, although French had a survey penalty, and getting well clear of William. It's actually very well clear. So Neil Sutherland and the Momo 5 pit crew, you get a hearty tap on the chest because I can't applaud and transmit at the same time.
Just slap yourself very hard across the face rapidly.
I did that once and you laughed at me.
I did, because I was joking then and I'm joking now. You absolute maniac.
Crazy person. Of course, I could stroke my chin beard now because I did my beard today, so it's all nice.
You drank your beer today.
Did my beard today. Did. It's all shaved down and trimmed and nicely.
You're gonna go for the weird tiger stripes on the cheeks?
Nope.
Come on.
French does get clear of Neil Sutherland. Turn 1. And into the Andretti hairpin.
Mike, I got an idea for you.
What was that?
If you predict the next Bobby Green fight wrong, you have to shave your beard to look like his.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it.
Come on.
No.
It'll be hilarious.
No. Not doing it. Not doing it.
I'm gonna get Hubby to help me bully you.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Both Porsches in the pit lane. Simmons and Archie. I think they'll easily come out ahead of Neil Sutherland now and retain their 1-2 stats. Which actually will be 1-2 in both the race and in the championship. Order here, Marcel Letelier and Mark Sutherland are having a good battle. I'd like to get that on screen if we could. And there's also a fairly good battle going on between Scott Johnston, Tom Laws, and Jeremy Reeder has dropped Arzumian. I'm not sure if that's a mistake for the Mercedes driver or what. Heaven forbid, maybe some contact between the two. Tom Was. Looks like he made a little bit of a mistake. He's not nearly as close to Scott Johnston as he was on the gap there. Got some blue flag traffic coming in. That's Max Simmons, I do believe. I think he's got the green colored Porsche in front. Lets him through. I really gotta look up the name of that terminal. I always forget it, and I don't know why.
I believe the name of the corner is Giuseppe.
It is not Giuseppe. It is
Perhaps
Rainy
Carlos.
Rainy Curve. There we go.
Juan Carlos corner.
Juan Carlos corner. There's probably a Juan Carlos corner somewhere.
See.
Tom Laws looking to defend against Jeremy Reeder now. Battle for 13th place between two bronze drivers. And a bronze podium today. Constantini and Johnston are in. So this is the battle for that final bronze podium step. biggest cars in the grid, the BMW and the Bentley, both in terms of popularity and in raw size.
And raw headlight potential.
I don't know about that.
Most headlight to
Whoa, that's Mark Cebulski. Mark Cebulski rejoining at a not supremely great location. Looks like that was navigated without incident. Check in on Mark Sutherland and Marcel Letelier battling for 7th place. Another big boy battle, BMW versus Nissan.
Your boy. Oh, there's a new fun name to say. I was just looking up to see when the UFC was starting tomorrow, which will be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Aliashab Khizriev.
Khizriev, yes.
Dang, that's a heck of a name.
His opponent's name is also pretty fun.
Oh, I just was stuck on that. Let me have a look here. Dennis oh, the printing's really small. What the fuck?
T-Lude.
God dang it. Oh yeah, alright.
Sutherland under pressure from Letelier. Looks like he's sporting some damage. Not sure where that came from. And Marcel's got the inside line into Andretti. And I'd say he's going to get that done. So the Nissan getting past the BMW there. And to be honest, Letelier, who did not look very fast in qualifying, finds himself in 7th place. I don't want to say that that's the best result he's had this season, because it's probably not. No, it would be. His best result is 8th place at Monza. So he's having his best day of the season for the Nissan. On track for his 3rd top 10 of the season, having added one at Zandvoort as well. In an underpowered car. Corkscrew once again, the most terrifying turn on this track.
Shit, they've had this guy on contract for like 2 years, and everybody keeps canceling the fight.
Who's this now?
Aliashab.
Ah.
He was supposed to fight. They signed him in 2020. He was supposed to fight Terman, canceled. Then he was supposed to fight Dockhouse, canceled. Then he was supposed to fight Di Chirico. Fucking printings again, very small. And I'm very reclined in my chair. Canceled. And then he was supposed to fight Magomedov, canceled.
I mean, well, it's kind of weird because he's not super scary. I mean, he's a good wrestler, grappler type guy, kind of the Habib mold, but not Habib.
But he's 13-0. He beat the piss out of that Paul Harris
Robert
guy.
Arzubian!
Yo, we got debris in the flying.
Takes out the brake marker. Try to rejoin the track.
Now nobody's going to know when to stop.
He's had a rough day after qualifying in the top 10. Nothing has really gone right for ya boy, Robert Arzubian. Tom Laws looking back at Jeremy Reeder. This battle continues for 13th place and the last spot on the bronze podium. To the inside goes Reeder, and I think he's going to get the overtake done. So one BMW went backwards a little while ago, one BMW going forward. It's only 5'9" and fights at 185. I feel like that's probably at some point my problem. Dan French does not overtake anyone. I think that's a blue flag situation with Mark Cebulski. And French's first season as a top contender, a lot of qualifying pace, hasn't necessarily always translated in racing.
It's actually been translated into German.
He did have the big podium at Monza, finishing in second place, but sub top 10 finishes at Barcelona and Zandvoort really hampered him. Took the penalty at Spa-Francorchamps and had an okay day there. Didn't have a great day at the Hungaroring either, so. And another not so great day here today, so maybe a little bit snake bit, maybe a little bit just needs to work on some of the craft and consistency things, but I think he'll be a race-winning driver before long. He's just got a lot of raw pace. As Arzumian hits the pit lane for a second time.
Right in the mouth.
Pretty bad day for the 905 racers, too, because Arzumian and French both qualified in the top 10. They're running 15th and 16th. Neil Sutherland is now under pressure from Michael Landry. So it looks like the McLaren has been putting in some good laps and is putting pressure on now, although Mr. Landry, that is not the livery you signed up with. And we're going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. You're supposed to have the livery you sign up with, and that's a custom livery he's running in a no custom series.
Sir, we will have you stretched over a bed of hot coals and slow roasted while being basted with sauce.
Slow roasted to perfection.
And don't think I can't.
He's very good at the slow roasting.
There's that meme running around like after you hit 30 years of any guy who hits 30 years of age instantly takes a deep interest in World War II or slow cooking meat. Well, I did.
You did
both.
You did both.
I didn't know it was a thing, but apparently it's a thing. I spec'd real hard in two different stat lines.
You were all the way statted into or spec'd into both those tech trees.
Correct. I did a little glitch on the intro screen and was able to, come up with many stat points. Featherweight fight between Tucker Lutz and Sung Woo Choi is off.
Why is this?
Choi was forced to withdraw from the event due to an undisclosed injury. A replacement is being sought by the UFC officials.
The UFC.
Indeed.
Miku running in 9th place. Not really sure why we're on board. It's 5.7 seconds behind Mark Sutherland and quite clear of Michael Magus, who is the gap shortly. 9.2. There you go. Not really sure why we're on board the Ferrari, but you can enjoy the sights and sounds. Instead, we go to Scott Johnston, who's battling with Jeremy Reeder. So Reeder's dealt with Tom Was, has moved up into 13th place. Now has Scott Johnston on his list. He is, by the way, going to be the bronze champion because Connor Costantini broke it down. He needed 3 points, and that basically was just a finish the race to beat Connor for the championship. And of course, Ayrton Arsenault not here today, so it will be double singles titles for the BMW Momo Fine team because they're going to take over the Silver Cup with Mark Sutherland and the Bronze Cup with your boy Jeremy Reeder. So pretty productive first season for the BMW M4.
If
Second
Jeremy
place
Reeder,
in the team championship.
If Jeremy Reeder causes an infraction, will you be throwing the book at him?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't be. Scott Johnston heading into the pit lane. What's going on here? Problem with the car? Problem with the rig setup, maybe? Can't think of why he would want to pit unless he's miscalculated his fuel. And even then, I think I wouldn't pit. I would just turn the engine mode down. Neil Sutherland still hanging on to 3rd place. That's the 3rd BMW. This is Michael Landry. Quick rundown. Simmons, RG, Sutherland, Landry, Murrah, Turcotte, Tellier, Sutherland, Miku, Magus, your top 10. Arzumian has retired from the race, and we are down to 16 cars.
I like how all these cars come with a cool TV tray on the back. You can sit and have lunch with your friends in the parking lot.
Big old wing.
Yeah. It's big enough you could have like a 2-3 course meal on that sucker. Needs cup holders though. Just drill a couple holes in there.
Oh, no!
Boy!
That's Tom Waz spinning out.
Well, that was Tom Was.
Well, it's Tom Waz spinning out the corkscrew, but no harm, no foul.
Fozzie Wozzie was up there.
Right on board with Neil Sutherland as he looks to hang on to third place. Best of the non-Porsches. Porsche is very strong here today. This might be the last lap here. They're starting now. Maybe the second to last lap. Depends where the race leader is.
Could we get Tom Was to legally change his name to Fozzie Wozzie?
Fozzie Wozzie had a bear.
Fozzie Wozzie had no hair. Fozzie Wozzie spun out in the corner.
So you think we'll get it? Will it be Sutherland or will it be Landry?
I believe it may be Landryland.
Landry, okay.
Maybe.
Going with the finally played by Jesse Clemens on Friday Night Lights. Landry.
I did some Landry the other day. A couple loads of Landry.
Leaders on final lap now.
The corkscrew. We will have one more lap. So one more time through the corkscrew after this. For Neil Sutherland, who has pulled a little bit of a gap. Neil, of course, is the admin of our Monday series. So you should chat to him if you want to get involved in that particular fun. He's doing something with Porsche Cup cars, I think, this season. Other multi-class options.
I demand a series of trophy trucks.
We've been through this. You need to find a game that has trophy trucks.
That's not my forte. I want other people to do the work and just provide me with the end result.
Interesting that Mark Sobalski and Tom Waz have hit the pit lane. Have they run out of fuel? Gentlemen, did you underfuel your cars?
Possibly.
So Letellier starting his final lap. Nissan had a very good race today. What was a bit of a mixed bag of a season.
Like mixed nuts.
I wasn't thinking of nuts specifically, but yes.
The leader has finished the race.
I like mixed nuts, but then you bite into the hazelnut and that's always gross.
Your race winner, as if there was any doubt of it, he led pretty much every lap. Max Simmons taking home his 5th victory in 6 races. Ahead of John Archie for a Porsche 1-2. 15 seconds gap there. We pick up on board with Neil Sutherland as he tries to hang on to the last spot on the podium. And I think he's going to do it. So Neil Sutherland hangs on against Michael Landry. Getting a podium. Is that his... He won Barcelona, so it's definitely not his first podium. But is that his first podium since Barcelona? It is. It is Neil Sutherland's first podium since Barcelona. Won the season opener, took 3rd place in the season finale.
Very nice.
Whoa! William Murrah going into the wall in celebration of his 5th place. Murrah 5th, Dominic Turcotte with a 6th place finish. Shout out to Dominic Turcotte. Fantastic race by him. He had a rough start to the race. And he kept it going and picked up 6th place ahead of Marcel Letellier. And we're just waiting for Mark Sutherland and Simeon Nuku to bring it on home. There's Sutherland finishing the race. Check out Marcel Letellier's Gran Turismo sponsored Nissan GTR. And Nuku finishes as well. There's your results. Simmons from Archie, from Sutherland, Landry, Murrah, Turcotte, Letellier, Sutherland, Naku, Magus, your top 10.
Oh, there's the
Silver
blue. There's the blue smoke. They've elected a new pope.
Your silver podium, Mark Sutherland from Simeon Naku and Michael Magus, and your bronze podium, Connor Costantini from Jeremy Reeder and Tom Waz. I will apply the scoring, and Byron will entertain you with various items.
Let's all go to the lobby. They park all the cars over there, and you can literally steal them. The government doesn't want you to know this, but the ducks at the park are free. You take as many as you want.
You can take as many. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. So pending any last-minute penalties, your champion, Max Simmons, scoring 283 points of a possible 300 points. John Archie finishes second on 218, followed by William Murr on 204, Neil Sutherland on 198, 165 for Silvio Cortese. In the team's championship with 600 points, Porsche Motorsports North America defeating Momo Fine Racing, who finished with 433, and 905 Racers on 202. In the Silver Championship, Mark Sutherland winning with 94 points ahead of Zach Martin's 85 and Michael Magus's 58. And in the Bronze Championship, Jeremy Reeder with 85 points ahead of Connor Constantini on 72 and 67 for Ayrton Arsenault. So look forward to seeing you guys next season, and there should be, at some point this week, a form for feedback on what you want to see in the next 3D Speed season. And I'll take that into consideration and do my best to make what the majority wants happen. Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Remember, kids, drink your school, stay and sleep, don't do milk, and get 8 hours of drugs every night.